Hello everybody, Jeffrey Deckman from jeffreydeckman.com, consultant, coach, and trainer for conscious leadership, mindsets, models, and methods. And sitting out on a nice, cloudy, cool summer day in the middle of a pine forest, and what could be better than that? And I've been thinking for the last couple of days about talking about something that I use really effectively, and might take me a couple of videos to go through it all to the way that I want to go through it, but I wanted to start with this one. And what it has to do with is a tool that I use that is really, really helpful for me to become more self-aware. One of the challenges we have as conscious leaders is we really have to understand ourselves and to be able to lead and manage ourselves before we really have the capability to effectively understand others and lead and manage them. So today I want to talk about a couple of things, and every now and then you'll see me look over to my side because my dog's wandering around in the woods, in the water, and I want to make sure he doesn't get caught up in his leash. So gotta have priorities. So anyway, we all have various aspects of our personality, and a lot of times they catch us by surprise, and we're familiar with them, but many times you haven't really unpacked them so that we can really understand them much better in ways that allow us to recognize when a certain part of our personality is showing up, and to even go deeper and to understand what caused that part of our personality to show up, what it's responding to, what it likes, what it's afraid of, what it doesn't like, etc. So I wanted to share a concept with everybody that I call the people around the board table. And the way I envision it is, and you feel free to envision this the same way, that you're the chairman of the board. And you walk into this boardroom and you look around and you see all these chairs sitting around this table. And in each chair is an aspect of your personality. So I'll just share some of mine with you just to give you a framework. Feel free to make it any way that you want and to connect with anyone or any type of personality that you find is active within your mind, your life. So for me, I've got a couple. Actually, I have more than a couple, for better or for worse. But I have a warrior side of me. And that warrior is the one that looks to protect me, my interests, my family. And it's not super aggressive. And it's certainly not mean. But it is think of it like a peaceful warrior, where it doesn't want war, it doesn't want conflict, but if it shows up on its doorstep, it knows how to deal with it. And sometimes that warrior is the person that should be leading the conversation, and other times it shouldn't be. On the other side of that particular coin, is I have the peacemaker. And the peacemaker is a bit of a diplomat, a negotiator, and someone that's always kind of looking to find a way to make things happen without a lot of conflict. The problem with that particular aspect of my personality is it can be too giving and forgiving, and that can get in the way of what actually should be done. I have what I'll call like a professor or an academic, although I didn't really do well in school and I didn't go to college. I still have a very academic and professorial-like type to my personality, where I can do really deep thinking. When I write, oftentimes that's who's writing, and often gets in my way because it becomes too verbose and too deep and a little bit too self-absorbed. I also have, the wise guy, kind of the sarcastic part of my personality that looks at a lot of things out of the corner of its eye and pokes fun at absurdities and can be a little bit brash and outspoken, and sometimes that's the exact person, I'll call it, the exact person who should have the microphone and leading the conversation, and sometimes it's the worst person. I have a little kid, somebody who's like 4 years old. That, gee, why can't we all just get along and let's just play nice in the sandbox? And it's a bit naive, but it's very peace-loving and very amiable. Just likes to get along. What else do I have? I have a comedian. Somebody that just wants to make light of things, make people laugh, move things forward. The comedian can be the one that can really come in and break open like tension and situations that are unfolding. I have a strategist. I've spent years as a political strategist on many levels, and that strategist is the one that's always, a lot of people play chess. My strategist not only plays checkers, but it plays three-dimensional checkers on a rotating board. It just sees so many aspects of so many things, and the problem with that part of me is I can be suspicious of things that aren't there because I really have to check out everything before it gets past the strategist. And oftentimes the strategist and the warrior will team up to protect the little guy, right? And so I also talk about in my book what I call my ego as the dog. And the reason I make that metaphor is because to me egos are kind of like dogs. Pretty much everybody has them. But if they are trained and domesticated, they're fine. But if they're not, if they're off the leash, they bark, they bite, they sniff in inappropriate places, they run around, they break the leash and take off, and one barking dog will activate another barking dog, just like one active ego will activate other active egos. So take a look at, go through your personality Rolodex here, over some time, and just have some fun with this. Kind of casually look at it. See those various aspects that you might be able to identify that are within yourself. And spend some time and kind of learn about them. What I do oftentimes is when I see an aspect of my personality coming into play, I kind of view it as an observer. And then on the other side of whatever it is that's taking place, a lot of times I'll go back and say, hey, what activated that? What was in play that caused that part of me to bring up? And how did I do? Did I act appropriately? Did the right person have the right microphone when they were talking? I mean, should it have been the diplomat, the negotiator, as opposed to the kind of wise guy or the comedian? And I think if you take some time and you play around with this, make it your own, you will start to see various aspects of your personality at a deeper level that you can then use to help you to grow as you become more self-aware. And as I mentioned in the beginning of this, the more self-aware we become, the more conscious we become, and then the more able we are to be able to lead and guide and help other folks along their way in their journey. So I hope this made some sense to you, and I'll probably dive down a little bit more into this in a future video. But for now, that's it. This is Jeffrey Deckman from jeffreydeckman.com, consultant, coach, and trainer for conscious leadership, mindsets, models, and methods. And I hope you have an awesome day. Take care.